Could you briefly introduce yourself and your role in short drama industry?
Hi, this is Holmes. I'm a Chinese filmmaker. I'm mostly working on short drama industry. I've been working on this area since 2021. Over the years, I've been witnessing the rapid evolution of the short drama, and I've been shooting a lot of short dramas over the years, and is quite excited to share some experience with you.
How you enter the short drama industry?
So it would be back in 2018, I think. I was a post director back then. I was working on a short drama called The Other Half of You and Me, and it was invested like it's over $2 million short dramas back then in 2018. And it was 3 to 5 minutes long each episode, and it's only like 30 episodes in total. But that was a terrible experience because nobody know how to make short dramas back then. Then when I actually stepped into the this short drama thing is back in 2020. So I was working in the big budget commercial movie back then. It's called Game of Identity, and a friend approached me and asked me, "Hey man, you want to shoot some short drama with me with like only like 2K in total?" So I said, that's impossible, man. It's impossible." And a friend, he asked me again. He came to me and said, "Hey, it's a really good chance to do that because it's a web novel company in China. It's very famous and they have tons of novels and IPs, and they want to transit the IPs to short dramas. And back then, nobody has done that. My friend taught me into doing this, and we create the whole thing in one villa, and we shoot everything in 4 days. And nobody has done that, and we did that, and we sold it to Kuaishou, and Kuaishou liked it very much. We didn't make a fortune, but after that, we realized, oh, this is a brand new track for new filmmakers like us, and we decided to go all in into these short dramas. And after that, we started making a lot of like short dramas for platforms like Mango TV, Tencent, Youku, and TikTok and Kuaishou. So it began around 2020. It has been like over 5 years now.
You mentioned about 2K
It will be actually like 20K actually.
US dollar or RMB.
No, US dollars.
Right, for how many episodes?
Back then it was only 30 episodes, 2 to 3 minutes per episode.
It's a horizontal microdrama or a
It's a
vertical microdrama.
vertical. It was a vertical.
Let's say if you could redirect that vertical drama again, what would you redo? Or what experience will you learn from that shooting that microdrama?
Oh man, it was such a long time ago, and we didn't know. We have no clue how to do that because when I back in 2017, like back in 5 years ago, I was still a very traditional filmmaker, and I used a lot of like cinematic vibe and requirement to do this short drama. So I spent a lot of time in like lighting, art design, and the costume design. But actually, if I redirect the short drama, I will spend more time in the screen writing, in the script. So I will spend more time in the script writing and casting better actors.
Yeah, that's a good advice because a lot of directors mention about casting. How do you define short drama and what do you think the essence or core of short drama?
I think the it's very hard to define because the definition of short drama has been changing over the years. When I first came to the idea of a short drama, it was like back in 2020. Nobody has done that, and short drama could be both horizontal and vertical. The length could be last from like 3 to 5 minutes, or even 1 to 2 minutes. And 2021, Mango TV start doing the short dramas, but it's a short version of the dramas. It will be like 10 minutes per episode. And then in 2 and 2023, we enhanced the length to 15 minutes to 20 minutes an episode for horizontal platforms. When we keep doing this in 2024 and 2025, it goes back to 1 to 3 minutes. The total episodes could be 60 episodes to 100 episodes, and it goes back to vertical. So the definition of short drama actually keeps changing. It's a revolution. It's a liquid experience when I make this so-called short dramas. Nobody has the very precise, and nobody can say, oh, this is short dramas because it keeps changing. But I think in 2025, I can say the definition of short drama finally, I think, is concluded because Hongguo appears, I think, and short drama would be verticals to last 1 to 3 minutes, maybe longer, like 3 to 5 minutes. But it's an expression of the traditional long story drama. So it compressed the story, like the main conflicts, and it takes away all the fat, and it just keeps the absolute core of the story. So you can say that's the short drama.
Yeah, it's
And
interesting to see it
yes,
change,
and
it shifts.
yeah, and I think there's an interesting note I want to say that so the so-called short dramas back then, a few years ago, we make like horizontal, like 10 minutes per episode short drama. Now the definition of that kind of short drama becomes middle drama. The definition just changed. The investors and the platforms, they invest less and less on this kind of longer version of dramas. So they invest more on the middle dramas. So they want to call the 20 minutes per episode dramas to like, they want to put a new name to it. It's called middle dramas. I am currently making both short dramas and middle dramas at this time.
The middle dramas or horizontal, right? As far as I know.
Yes, they are still horizontal. So I remember we were talking about short dramas about like a year ago. We were talking about short dramas, but the examples I we are talking about the dramas I make is horizontal. But right now, most dramas I make is vertical.
That's how you call like overseas. Our audience mostly from overseas, what they know
Yes,
about microdrama or short drama, and in States that's called verticals or vertical drama.
yes,
They're all vertical. They
yeah,
didn't
they're
know
all
we
verticals.
also got this horizontal microdrama in China before.
When I met all those people, like the filmmakers and the actors overseas, in their understanding, short dramas are absolute verticals. They just call it verticals. Verticals equals short dramas.
What's the difference between microdrama and TV or TV series?
TV dramas, like traditional TV and film, emphasize on the completeness of the story. You have to build a realistic, believable world. And short drama, on the other hand, it doesn't have to, it can skip the whole process of building the whole world and building the logic. It can go straight into the climax of the character tension, the character the character dynamics, and the emotional push and pull. So we don't have to, we can skip the whole process, the setup, the afterwards. We can just go into the key, the most tasted part of the story. Short drama is just the best part of the story and cuts away the rest of it.
Short drama should be directly to the climax or what's happening in the story. I'm just curious, you mentioned about it's not very logical. I'm not sure my rephrase is right. Why do you think short drama is not logical?
So I don't think I expressed like precisely on the logical one. I think the logic would be the traditional TV emphasize on the logical and the realistic. It has a lot of setups, and it it has a lot of other characters to help building a complete world. But short dramas, it builds on the story on a everybody knows scenario. Like we build the whole story on a Twilight Zone, it's a horror and suspenseful world. We built the story on the modern city, like a New York City world, and you don't have to spend time telling me like the age of the city. It doesn't have to be like you just show the male and female the lead characters. and show their tensions, and you can cultivate the setup. I think that that's not like not logical. It's like you don't have to worry about the audience don't have no idea about the background. It's a scenario that everybody knows and confirmed.
Yeah, I got you. It's like, let's say in Avatar, this movie, right? It kind of spend a lot of time introducing the whole world of Pandora planet, how this planet is, how those plants are. But in microdramas, we don't have that time to like introduce the whole world, a new, completely brand new world to the audience. It's something we can, everyday people can understand.
Yes, I think the idea of short drama is born in China, and it actually is born from the concept called web novel. The web novel has been developing in China for over 10 years, and it creates a lot of different genres, like over like it's so specific. It creates a very large audience, like understanding different genres. So short dramas is built on this base. It's just from text to videos. So you don't have to
Mm.
explain too much. The target audience knows the background and the genres very well. So you just tell a story within these genres. And I see a lot of people try to mix genres. They don't have a very satisfying outcome when they try to do that because short dramas is very specific that this is about traditional, no, no, this is about like modern city love, about boy and girl. And when you try to add some suspense genres in this, it's very hard for the audience to accept it.
There is a audience expectation, what they want to see in this story. In a love
Yes,
story, they just want to see a couple, they end happily. When you add suspense element into it, it's kind of create another main storyline. So the
right,
audience don't know what to expect. Am I going to
right,
expect this love story, or am I going to expect how to solve the mystery of something? So yeah, expectation splits.
right, right.
Also, I want to add up on this. China has almost 30 years of history of writing web novels, and we have 42 million online novel IPs.
After my interview with Holmes, we kept chatting in Chinese about short drama. There was a part I really liked, so I used AI voiceover and added it here.
Short drama, as a vertical format, actually carries a lot more meaning. It's not just about the 3-second hook or things like cliffhangers. I think the core of it is actually social. It's shareable. It's built for mobile. In a way, it's something different, not just about dopamine or addiction. For short drama to really take off, it has to be shared. People need to post it on TikTok or spread it quickly across platforms. That's the real mechanism behind it. And honestly, you can get addicted to a TV series too. It's not like only short-form content can create that kind of engagement.
If I watch a great show on Netflix, I'd share it too, right?
But it's actually not that easy to make it shareable. I think my perspective is still very much based on Chinese short drama. If something really takes off in China, it's because of its social media nature. It's extremely easy to spread. Actors will even jump in, interact with the audience, do live streams, all of that. And that part is very important. It's not just a show, it's much more than that.
The first round of distribution is usually paid traffic, ad buying. Then the second round happens when it starts to gain traction. Fans begin to share it organically. They clip it, repost highlights, spread interesting moments. That's the second layer of distribution.
Yeah, you really have to look at short drama from a shareability perspective, and also its short-form video. If you treat it like traditional TV or traditional filmmaking, it's almost guaranteed to fail. It's just not the same thing.
Yeah, but maybe it's because traditional shows, like those on Netflix, are much longer. Even if you share a clip, people don't really know what the story's about. It's harder for them to immediately understand or get hooked.
If you compare it to traditional platforms like Youku or Tencent, that's more of a shelf logic. You have a menu of content, and maybe a few shows get placed at the top for promotion, but that visibility might only last a week. Netflix works in a similar way. You have featured titles placed in certain shelves. But TikTok, and short drama in general, works differently. It's algorithm-driven. Content is pushed based on user behavior. The more you watch something, the more of that content you get. So in a way, we're no longer just making content for audiences, we're making content for the algorithm. If your content fits the algorithm, it gets pushed further.
Let's pause for a second. A lot of people watch short drama and think this doesn't look that hard. But once you actually try to write one yourself, you realize short drama doesn't written like traditional film or TV. It's product thinking, audience expectation, pacing, and app buying logic. That's why we created Short Drama Writing 101, a practical course with real case studies, a self-paced online course with real case breakdowns, scene analysis, and access to our Discord creator community. Mention about IP, when you adapt, like that's intellectual property, if our audience don't know what an IP is. When you adapt Chinese short drama IPs from four overseas markets, what are the things you always try to keep and why?
So I did do this kind of projects, like try to adapt the Chinese IPs to overseas short dramas. So the absolute key I will try to keep would be the core relationship in this IP, in no matter it's Chinese or American or Australian, it doesn't matter. The core of the IP would be the relationship between the main lead male and female, or maybe male, female, and male. It doesn't matter. It's the key will be the tension between characters and their relationship. So I think that's the main thing I will keep. And the other thing I think I will try to maintain and try to translate from one cultural background to the other one would be the feeling. The most beautiful and the most attracting part of the Chinese IP would be, like, say it's a love story. So I will try to keep the romance part. So I will try to keep how the boy and girl, when they first meet, the scenario, the romance, the surprising feeling, that I will try to keep that part and translate into the other, to the overseas drama. Tell the story in the right mood and in the right cultural scenario.
Can you briefly just introduce the intellectual property, this hit Chinese short drama you translate? What was the story roughly about? And what's the how to say performance in how is the performance in China, the original one?
So the one IP I did over a year ago is called Yao Qingli, and the story is about a poor girl. Her father is sick, and she has to make money for her father's surgery fees. And then she met a very wealthy man, which happened to be her high school crush. So if she sleep with this man, he will get a lot of money to pay for the surgery fees. And she did that, and then she get the money, but she refused to stay with the guy, and the guy goes back to pursue her. And then the love story, and come the push and pull and all that. It's a love story.
How do you maintain the push and pull between the male lead and female lead?
In the acting part, I would try to make the performance, like when they almost get together, there will always be some I will make some like conflict and misunderstanding and mismatch in between them. When I try to keep the tension between the female lead and the male lead, I will work on the script first. We will set up a lot of interesting scenarios and for the actors, so they can have a lot of chances to. So it's a power dynamic, right? Usually the male lead will take the power, will take the lead, but the female lead cannot be too weak. He has to overpower the male lead sometimes. So there will be a tension. It's like pull in and pull out. So that will be interesting. So we will create a lot of scenarios for them to maintain the balance of power dynamics. The script part is very important. So I encountered a lot of problems, and I have a lot of problems when I try to translate the Chinese IP to the overseas IP, because sometimes the platforms they just throw me the script is a direct translation version from Chinese script to the English script, and it doesn't work. It has a lot of problems. Say, I have a problem. So the the female lead goes to the male lead and say, "I'm clean, choose me." But in the English scenario, cultural background, "I'm clean" means I'm innocent. I didn't do anything wrong. But in the Chinese version, it says, "I'm a virgin. I am perfectly fine for you to choose." So it's a sexual turn in the Chinese turn. So the actor comes to me and say, "What do you mean? What does it mean when I say I'm clean? I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything like criminal did." I said, "No, no, no. It's a different turn." So we have some problems when we try to translate.
About casting, how do you do the casting? What's the process of you do the casting for those overseas short drama?
In casting wise, I would say choosing the right actor is mostly like from my understanding, I will pick the actors that fits the script and it fits the character. And the second rule I think would be they actually act very well, like good actors. I think that's very important. Say like the last overseas short drama I did, the girl, she actually doesn't fit the character very well. She in person she's like very warm, very exciting, very like she's like a very outgoing Australian girl. But in for the character, she needs to be like more like 楚楚可怜, like be very like traditional and be more cold and be more like inward, like not talking that much. So it's totally not her, but she acts very well. Her acting is very well, so she can turn herself into that kind of person to fit the character.
That's an actor's or actress job, right? To be
Yes,
someone they're not.
yeah, to be someone that they are not. But I think the perfect scenario would be I would pick a very well acting, like the acting very well actor, and in the same time, they look like this character already. I'll try to pick the right one, like they naturally fix the character. I think that's very important for a short drama or for a drama, because if they fit the character like naturally, the audience will believe them and follow them into the story naturally. It will be better for the outcome.
What about the chemistry? How do you choose the female lead and male lead so that they have a chemistry, quoted chemistry on screen?
In Chinese, it's called 玄学. Is the most difficult part for every drama. I think for like script wise and acting wise and like anything like filmmaking wise, it's all technical. It's solvable. It's solvable problem. But chemistry is an unsolvable problem if doesn't happen. If there's no chemistry, there's no chemistry. You cannot reinvent the chemistry in between two characters and the two actors. So it's like it's a random thing. I think it's a random thing. It has to we have to count on fortune sometimes. So to make sure they have chemistry, like to hope they have chemistry, I will ask the actors to do a demo, like a audition. They would so I will send a script to them and say, "Hey, can you shoot the short video and act for me and send it back to me?" And then I will send the same script to the female and the male actor, and then I will cut the two clips together as though that they are acting to each other, even though they are in two different spaces. And then I will try to from this from this cut together video, I will try to find out if they have chemistry. Even though, even from with this kind of method, you cannot 100% ensure they have chemistry. I think it's a very personal and mystery. It's a mystery. I think you cannot find out if they have chemistry until you are on set and they the camera starts action and you can only find out when this happens. And if there's no chemistry, it's hard.
Yeah, because we all know that the process of preparing
Yeah,
short drama, it's very short. So sometimes we don't have time for them to meet in real life to see if they got a chemistry or not.
right.
Yeah, so one of is to see if they have a previous work. If they work together, you can obviously see their previous work. If they never
Yes,
work with each other before, then probably that's the way you just show us, just to compare them. Or
yeah,
it would be better if they can meet in real life in
right.
casting, but it's really hard.
It's
Short
very hard.
dramas.
Sometimes the male is in America, the other one is in Australia or somewhere else. Yes, it's hard.
I'm just still curious about the microdrama you shoot and the overseas microdrama. Is it shooting in China, I guess?
It's shot in China. It's shot in Qingdao.
Oh, cool. So those two male lead and female leader fly to China. So are there many microdramas shooting, overseas microdramas shooting China?
Yes, there are tons of micro dramas shot in China. Just I know, maybe there will be over hundreds of micro dramas shot in China in 1 month in different cities, and hundreds and thousands of actors from over the world, they will be flying to China to shoot this kind of drama. It's shocking to me actually. And
Oh,
usually
okay.
when one actor comes to China to finish, like say my lead actor, he comes to my drama and we shoot for like two micro dramas series, like we finish two together, and then he will go to the other city and shoot another two.
How do you ensure the quality of post-production and which parts of post-production require the most time and effort?
I think the most important part will be the editing part and the music part. These two parts are the thing. Of course, every part is very important, but the edit part is very important because the editor has to know the performance. He has to understand the performance of the actor to pick the most beautiful and the most touching part and cut away the rest of the not good part. Music is important because for short dramas, you have to give the audience the most powerful emotions and help them understand the characters' emotions very quickly. So the music part is very important. So these two parts, I think, is the most important. I will spend most time in edit and picking the right music.
So if a director transition from traditional film and TV into short drama, what advice would you give?
So first, I would say keep an very open mind, be very open-minded, because I am a traditional filmmaker transiting from traditional TV to micro short drama, and I know the process is hard because uh, everything you know, everything you think is classical, from Stanley Kubrick's filmmaking technique to Christopher Nolan techniques, all these like classical filmmaking concept could be useless and could be like is a different world. You have to understand that you are making short dramas. Short dramas is mostly serving audience. You have to start everything like what you have to think about, like what the audience really wants to watch. I can say to a lot of friends who want to transit from traditional TV to short drama would be you have to know what you are good at and what you can do well and figure out your secret weapon and learn how to maximize your visual advantage on whatever genres and whatever short dramas you can create and maximize your advantage and hone your skills and make your secret weapon very powerful. So I will explain a little bit what's the secret weapon is that some people they are very good at making like uh, they are very into like romance relationship and all the kissings and the tensions between like male and female, all that. Sometimes some people are very good at this kind of things. So and some people are very good at like revenge and how to create the tension, the expectations, and out of expectation, that kind of thing. So different filmmakers have different advantage and disadvantage. So know yourself and be open-minded. I think is very important.
That's interesting that you point out to create microdramas, always think about what the audience wants. Is there any example that the short drama you direct, you
Yes.
think this is something the audience wants, but maybe when you read the feedback, they are watching something different or they're expecting something different that it surprised
Ah.
you. It's like, oh, this is not what I mean. Oh, okay, you got it. Those kind of experience.
I have millions of examples to share in this scenario. So what I think the audience is wants, and uh, when I read the feedback when it's on screen, and I read the feedback and the comments, oh, they think differently. Yes, yes, yes. I have an example that there's a scene that on the first night the girl goes to the hotel where the male actor lives. He's super rich, right? So she comes to her and she comes to the man and say, I'm clean and I want to stay with you, so you can give me a lot of money. So I was expecting that the audience want to see something very hot, very sexual between these two characters, how they kiss each other and how they pull it, how they kiss each other like over the glass of the washroom, and we see their silhouettes and how they kissing each other, the two bodies overlap together, and those kind of images. But when I watch the comments and read the feedback, the audience actually they expect more of the little small emotions when the man almost touched the female, the little small tensions, her hand shaking, all these small emotions. It's very subtle, and they want to see more like the small like close-ups of the male touching the cheek of the female and her neck, and how he undressed the girl. Like this all it's all very small thing.
Because most of those romance stories, microdramas, are watched by female audience.
Right,
So it's kind of show from the female gaze. We always talk
right,
about the male gaze and female gaze. From the female gaze, how those female audience, how us experience this relationship. So
right,
because we probably say like female are very male detail oriented.
right.
So
Detail rolling.
we are see different things, how we
Right.
experience, how we feel.
It's different angles, yes. So I
Yeah.
learned from these examples, and I learned to see things in this kind of angles from the especially I learned from the audience to, oh, I understand what angles and what specific you want to see. Yeah,
So what do you think of AI? Because AI motion comics is booming in China right now. Do you
right.
think AI will replace short drama or they will create? What do you think of AI?
So first of all, AI will change the whole world like dramatically in a way that we will never be able to even imagine. But first, I would say short drama. I think AI will start change things a lot in short drama. I think 2026 will be the year one of AI short dramas. There will be tons of fast producing AI short dramas in the whole market and in the whole internet. And the genres and the storytelling will be remarkably diverse, I think. Yes, I've watched a lot already. And the next step would be AI live action short drama. There will be a lot of so traditionally is played by real actors. I think by the end of 2026, half of the live action short dramas will be replaced by AI. That's my expectation.
Wow, that would be a lot of micro dramas will be replaced.
Yes, and the price would drop dramatically. So I will give you a number. I was talking to my friend last night actually about AI short drama. Um, a year ago, I think 2025, in the end of 2025, I think it's August, is the 1 minute. So the price of 1 minute AI short drama would they can sell, I think it's almost 5K to 6K. But the first quarter of 2026, it can only sell maybe 100 and $200 per minute. The price dropped like crazy. It's crazy.
What you mean sell is they produce already and they sell to the platforms, right?
So the price the platforms buy from them, it drops like 10 times at least 10 times.
How do you see the future of short drama?
There's a great future for short drama. It's a great opportunity for young filmmakers to create something they want to try. And secondly, it's a format that fits phone watching like most people. So I think short drama equals TVs right now. It's the same concept. Back in 20 years ago, people watch TV. 2026, people watch short dramas. It's the same concept.
Just different
Right.
storytelling format.
The same thing, I think it's just shorter. Short drama. I see for my definition is just TV. It's the modernized TV. In a traditional TV series. So it's like most it's almost like an hour, right? 40 minutes to 1 hour. There's plus like the secondary characters and the thirdly characters, they create a complete world. Nowadays, the audience, they are losing patience. They don't want to watch the secondary and the thirdly part. They only want to watch the lead parts and the most contradictory, the most exciting part, the most exciting conflicts part. It's interesting that a lot of people watch movies in the short videos, right? Because someone would tell the whole story in 3 minutes and cut the rest of the part and only cut the most exciting parts into 3 minutes. So it's the same thing. So short dramas just cuts away the parts that's less interesting. They just keep the most interesting part of the story, the core of the story.
Well, film or TV will be placed by short drama, or maybe film will be placed, or TV will be placed by short dramas.
They will not replace each other. I think the traditional TV will be less and less. The short dramas will be booming like even crazier than we imagine. And still people will go to the theaters to watch movies. Not as many as like back in 20 or 10 years ago anymore, I think. It's hard.